My name's Johnny, and today we are looking at another 1K challenge. Can we get an entire rig for under £1,000? This time, one of the world's leading companies for music retailing, and that is Thomann. The last time we looked at Andertons.com, and I had loads of people commenting in the comment section down below, asking for me to do another version of this challenge because it went down really well. And so I just know that this video will do really well as well. Now, this week has kind of caught up with me. I've been so busy, and there's loads of exciting stuff in the pipeline. You would have seen my unboxing for the Fender Player Mustang. Don't fret, if you're watching this at time of release, that is coming very soon. I've had to kind of take a bit of a step back, so I thought I would quickly film another 1K challenge. And I say quickly film, this ended up being a nightmare. Audio got corrupted and was jumping because I'm trying to screen record whilst recording, and oh, hello cat. It's not the best performing Mac, so it kind of struggled a little bit, so bear with me. This video will be back to normal reviews and the full quality of content next time. But before we jump into it, I just want to say a huge thank you and shout out to my cat. No, to Stephen over at the Stephen McGrath Basscraft podcast, which I have featured on, and at time of release it is out today, so hit the link in the description, go and have a listen to our great conversation. Fantastic bass player from Ireland, and I really enjoyed our chat that we had, all about gear, all about playing bass. Go and check out, subscribe to his channel as he talks to loads of really cool bass players, including me. So let's get started. We're here on the Thomann homepage, and we head on over to guitars and basses. We'll have a look at some jazz basses. We'll have a look at some P basses, miscellaneous again. If I'm going to get one bass, then I need it to be nice and diverse. Probably a jazz bass or PJ configuration. That's probably my favourite pickup configuration. Let's change. Whoa, £7,000. No, thank you. We're going to set our budget for a maximum of 400. So we've got a standard series, Harley Benton. Squier Affinity is an interesting one. I think they're overpriced. I've heard that other people have similar opinions as well of the more modern ones. I've only played the slightly older ones, and they were nowhere near as good as like the Harley Bentons that you can get today. But if Squier really want to combat with like the more affordable stuff, they really need to drop their prices on the Affinity range to make it competitive with Harley Benton. You know, with Thomann owning Harley Benton and being the sole retailer of them, they completely cut out the middleman. That's why they're so cheap. They cut out that middleman so they can offer it to you without inflated prices, essentially. The retailer doesn't have to take a cut because they are already taking that cut, if that makes sense. Over these two. Oh, I really like that one. Oh, curveball. Now that's something I hadn't even considered. Oh, we're adding that to the basket. I don't know what it is. That just looks phenomenal to me. That is a mean. Oh, and the knobs as well. I've got a soft spot for quartz. Obviously, we've got a similar price range. We've got the enhanced Harley Bentons. Now with those, you are getting insane value for money. Click up in the cards if I remember to put it there. My review of the Harley Benton Enhanced series. Marcus Miller. I am a sucker for that walnut. That will be quite good. Let's go ahead and add one of these Harley Bentons anyway, because I would really recommend one, and I personally would go for that all black. Now we're moving on to the higher range in our Squier stuff. Whilst and the G&Ls, also probably great value. I've heard lots of good things about G&Ls, and a couple of you have commented saying that I should be checking these out, which I will get round to. But for this £1,000 budget, I think we can spend our money in better places later on, maybe on a more expensive amp or some more expensive pedals, because in the bass range on Thomann, there is such good quality in a really affordable market. Oh, all these Squiers look so good though. Daphne Blue. Okay, we could go with enhanced again, but I'm not sure if I'm really feeling that. Like, I'm going to go based on what I would actually buy if the house is burnt down and I need to buy a whole new rig. We could go a Marcus Miller route. That's, you know, just such good value for money. Oh, I love that walnut finish as well. I used to work at a school, and the students have been using that for years, and you can imagine it being beaten up and it was all grimy and horrible, and it still performed really well. So I would really rate these. So I'm gonna add the white one because that one just looks a bit nicer in my opinion. On here, ooh, what? Now I knew they seem to be bringing them out in these matte black and red taupe finishes. Wow, holy moly! Like out of the two, are you gonna pick that over this? You're just not, are you? I mean, oh Christ! Okay, I think these, that makes me feel very unwell. My first ever video was on this Harley Benton before I knew what I was doing with YouTube. I still don't know what I'm doing with YouTube. Ooh, this might be an interesting contender. Well renowned for years for making absolutely phenomenal basses and guitars. I nearly bought a Rev Star recently. Oh, that just looks stunning, doesn't it? Another bass I'm going to have to get on the channel, I think. Oh, that is a beauty. So I think that's all the basses. Amps, I think, are actually my least favourite part of, like, bass. Let's go with the combo. I think we're going to get better value for money in this instance anyway. Let's have a look at solid state bass amps, because I think for this price range, that's going to be our best bet. And minimal watts we're going to want a 200, I would say, in order to ourselves be heard over the drums. I personally would want to go up to 500, but I think 200 will be okay. So again, we've got some offerings from Harley Benton. I've not had any experiences with these amps. However, I did hear Julia from Thomann playing one in a video the other day, and it did sound pretty good. So, I mean, anything that she plays, as you probably know, sounds good. And a lot of tone is in your hands. It's in your fingies. So we've got the Fender, and we've also got a Hartley here as well, both similar prices. Now I have currently got Fender Rumble set up. Would I get it again if I had to? Oh, I think I might, you know. The great thing about the Rumble is it has built-in overdrive section, which sounds great, and you've got lots of different options here. I am liking that. So before we go and look at pedals, we kind of need to know what budget we have left. We've got that one amp in there, fab. Let's have a look at the basses and compare them to each other. Oh, this is really tough. So the most expensive one, obviously, is that Yamaha. Then I'm going to be only left with about £200 of pedals. I mean, is that going to be enough? Most of you would argue, yes, you only need the amp and the bass. Oh, and we're not going to buy cables, by the way. We're assuming that the house was burnt down, and the first thing I ran into, ignored the cat, ignored the rabbits, ignored the girlfriend. I just grabbed the cables, and that was it. This is a tricky one. The Court is a bit more exciting to me. I'm going to get rid of the Harley Benton Jazz as well. If we're going to have one of those, I'm going to get that Court. Do you know what? I'm going to go with the Yamaha. Let's go with the Yamaha. Okay, I'm sorry, Yamaha guys. For the sake, because it's Thomann, we're going to stay with Harley Benton. We know it's going to be bloody a smashing deal on that one, so we're going to stick with that. It wouldn't be a video from me without looking at pedals and pedal boards, because you know I am a big lover. I'm going to stay away, because we've got £332 away, I'm going to stay away from from the Bols guitar, from Bass Multi-Effects. I think we'd be better off getting some standalone pedals for that price range. Though we could just, we're close to a HX Stomp though, so we could just go with that. But that's not quite as exciting, is it? We've already got distortion built into the amp. Oh, we could just get the Bass Butler. I know we don't have enough money. I really want to try one of those. The Hands amp, just great pedal, can have several settings on there. But for this, I'm going to add the TC Electronic Spectral compressor. It looks simple because it's just got one knob, but you have the ability with TC Electronic products to use their tone print. You can see the USB insert, and that will be yeah, look, tone print, upload signature sounds or make your own. So actually this bass a lot more than it's letting on. And £73, smashing deal. So if we take away how much is that? £73. So I'm going to change my budget to 259. Could do with a preamp. We've got a Sans amp here we could go for. We have also got, we could just go for the Behringer. The Geddy Lee one, that could be good. That is the ugliest looking, no, I take it back. Ghastly. Is it a tube? Oh, it's a tube. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, these just kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. That one just looks so strange. It looks too long. We've got to go for a tuner first. If we can find out what budget we've got left after a tuner, That would be ideal. We don't want any of these clip-on ones. We want one on the floor. I didn't know they did this. I was looking for the pitch black, but the Mini, that is the one. Looking at our budget, £1,000 minus £789 is 211. The money that we saved on getting that bass, we've got so much left over. Now we could have just gone for the Yamaha and been done with it. It's got a preamp on board, done. But that's no fun, is it? So 211 MXR preamp. I would like to try that out, to be fair. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I do like MXR. Got our input. Oh, it's so Somerset. We've got our input and output there. Although the fact that they're... Oh no, that makes sense because input's here. Treble bass middle, you can select. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. Add it to the basket. £968. So that means that we've got £32 left to play with. For under £1,000 there, we have got an amp. We've got a bass. We've got 3 pedals as well. All of which will give us a nice sound. And we've even got the built-in distortion on the amp as well. So yeah, potentially a bloody lovely sounding rig there. Okay, so now let's just go to checkout and we'll see what this is actually like. Not really. Can't just go spending that. But if you hit like and subscribe and ring the bell and leave a comment down below, then maybe I'll actually be able to see if I can buy a rig for £1,000, actually buy it and see how it really sounds. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below, maybe on what you would have chosen for £1,000 if you had to get all of these elements. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.